When I was 11, I started picking stocks, but I had it all wrong. I was fascinated by watching stock prices fluctuate. I thought the whole game was about predicting which way they'd go up or down. I got deep into technical analysis, devouring books like Technical Analysis of Stock Trends by Edwards and Meggie, hundreds of pages that I read over and over again. For the first 8 years, I believed the key was forecasting stock movements and predicting the market. Then, when I was about 19 or 20, I discovered Benjamin Graham. That changed everything. I realized I had been approaching it entirely the wrong way. But in hindsight, all that experience wasn't wasted. It gave me context. When I read The Intelligent Investor, I reshaped my mindset completely. From that point on, I didn't just buy stocks. I bought businesses, real, operating companies that happened to be publicly traded. And from that moment, I stopped caring whether the stock price would go up or down tomorrow, next week, or even next year. I had no idea what the market would do. But I knew businesses. I was a curious, focused guy who had spent his life immersed in this field, surrounded by people who pushed me to think smarter. You don't need to be a genius in this game. In fact, high IQ might even work against you. A 120 IQ will beat a 170 if the 120 has the right temperament. What you really need is the right mental framework. Most people treat stocks like lottery tickets, hoping they'll rise quickly, panicking when the market dips. I think in decades. I ask, what will this business be worth in 10 or 20 years? And I want the stock price to drop while I'm buying so I can accumulate more at a bargain. I play in a game I know I can win. When I commit to something, I go all in. I once put my entire net worth into a Stock City Service preferred at $114.75 a share. That was March 11, 1942. Since that day, I've never had less than 80% of my money invested in American businesses. You can call them stocks if you want, but I see them as slices of the American economy. And I've never wanted to own anything else. I own a home, sure, and the things my family needs, but beyond that, I don't see value in accumulating 5 houses or luxury toys. More homes mean more problems, not more happiness. Real happiness comes from doing what I love. And I love investing. Why? Because I know I'll win in the long run, and because people trust me with their money. That trust means more to me than any isolated return I might earn trading alone. Imagine there's no stock market at all. Think about how you'd buy a farm or an apartment building based on income, potential, value, not daily price changes. That's how I invest. If people bought businesses this way, without staring at tickers every day, they'd be much better off. The truth is, we live in an extraordinary country. Today, even the bottom 10% of earners in the US live better than John D. Rockefeller did when I was a child. Back then, he couldn't stream movies, didn't have access to modern medicine, and had to go to a football game to watch it. Now, most Americans can sit at home with a screen and enjoy all those comforts and more. When I was born, dentists didn't use Novocaine. That alone tells you how far we've come. No country has progressed like the United States. A few centuries ago, this land held less than 1% of the world's population, and today, it produces over 20% of the world's wealth. We didn't start richer, work harder, or have higher IQs. We just had a system that worked, capitalism guided by democracy. Yes, capitalism needs rules. That's where the government steps in. But if we preserve the balance, this system will continue to evolve, getting better with every generation. It's already delivered far more than anyone in 1789 could have imagined. And I'm confident it will keep doing so. After 91 years of watching the world turn, I've never once lost faith in the direction we're heading. Sure, there are setbacks, wars, depressions, pandemics, but in the big picture we move forward. Businesses improve. People improve. Governments improve. And we all benefit. If I could give one timeless piece of advice to investors, keep it simple. For most people, indexing is the way to go. Own the S&P 500. Don't try to outsmart it by picking sectors, countries, or industries. Jack Bogle had it right: diversify broadly, minimize costs, and let American enterprise do the heavy lifting. That's how you build wealth. Not overnight, but inevitably.